l'acquisition de Shawn durant la semaine de congé. Qu'est-ce qui a mené cette mise sous contrat?
Mais pendant la pause, pendant la semaine où on était en congé, on a eu quand même une opportunité de s'asseoir et avec nos entraîneurs en particulier, avec coach Maas, puis on a passé la semaine au complet de faire un genre d'évaluation de où nous sommes rendus après 5 matchs. Alors, on a regardé l'attaque, on a regardé les unités spéciales, on a regardé la défensive. Puis, je pense que pendant la semaine, on parlait de la ligne de mêlée. On parlait du fait que même si on est satisfait avec notre performance défensivement, il faut trouver une façon de se rendre au carrière, d'être plus actif. Là, ça ne veut pas dire le nombre de sacs, mais de déranger le carrière puis de le fatiguer au point qu'on peut lui compliquer un petit peu la vie. Alors, quand on regardait la performance de certains, puis on voyait que quelqu'un comme Shawn était disponible, on voulait l'adresser puis on voulait l'amener à Montréal.
Depuis que tu es DG, vous avez toujours eu un bon vestiaire, les joueurs s'entendent bien. Jason l'a mentionné après le match, avant la semaine de congé, les joueurs le mentionnaient régulièrement. Shawn, toi, a la réputation d'être un joueur des fois qui peut avoir un caractère particulier, difficile de s'entendre avec lui dans le vestiaire. Toi, est-ce que c'est quelque chose, pas qui t'inquiète, mais que tu prends en considération? Parce que d'avoir un bon vestiaire, ça, c'est tout aussi important que toute autre chose.
Didier, il faut toujours faire attention à qu'est-ce qu'on attend, puis les rumeurs qui circulent. Il y a beaucoup de monde qui m'ont dit la même chose au sujet de Trevor Harris. Puis c'était pas tout à fait ce qu'on avait dans le vestiaire, puis c'était tout un coéquipier, puis tout un leader. Alors, c'est sûr qu'avant de faire l'acquisition, avant de l'appeler, avant de discuter avec son agent, j'ai fait quelques appels à des entraîneurs qui l'ont coaché, des joueurs qui ont joué avec lui, des joueurs actuels qui font partie des Alouettes, qui ont joué avec lui. Puis, d'après l'information que j'étais capable d'aller chercher, c'est que c'est un bon coéquipier qui va tout donner, puis qui s'entend bien avec tout le monde. Alors, c'est ça que je m'entends de voir en place de lui cette année.
C'est quand même surprenant en même temps qu'il soit disponible, compte tenu qu'il y avait eu une excellente saison la saison dernière.
Oui,
il était sur l'équipe d'étoiles.
Oui, c'est ça. Il y a plusieurs facteurs que des fois, ça peut être des négociations avec des équipes, puis tu penses que tu vaux une certaine... Tu as une certaine valeur sur le marché, puis des fois, il y a des équipes qui voient ça un petit peu différent. Je pense que aussi le facteur qu'il y a 34 ans, peut-être, puis il veut investir dans des joueurs un petit peu plus jeunes. Ou peut-être, comme à BC, c'était une question de ratio, d'avoir des joueurs comme Betts puis Menard qui jouent comme des defensive ends. C'est une situation où, pour eux, ils voulaient changer le ratio. Puis ils l'ont libéré. Alors, nous, on va en profiter de l'expérience qu'il amène, le fait qu'il est capable de se rendre au carrière. Puis c'est justement ce qu'on a besoin.
C'est un gars qui en a vu d'autres, qui a joué plusieurs saisons dans la Ligue, autour de la Ligue aussi. À quel point, rapidement, vous attendez à ce qu'il y ait un impact sur votre unité?
Bien, quand je pense à Shawn Lemon, moi, j'ai eu la chance d'avoir Alfred Payton ici. J'ai eu la chance d'avoir Joe Monfort à Edmonton. C'est des gars là, que dans le deuxième essai, puis long, mais tu vas les libérer, tu vas leur donner la flexibilité de faire ce qu'ils font très bien pour se rendre au carrière. Alors, c'est ça que je m'entends de lui. Puis j'espère que ça sera... on va voir quel genre de semaine il va nous donner, puis ça va être le choix aux entraîneurs de décider s'il est prêt physiquement et mentalement pour compétitionner dimanche. Mais si c'est le cas, c'est ça que je m'entends dans des situations de deuxième et long, puis dans des situations qu'il faut, les 2 dernières ou les 3 dernières minutes dans un match où tu as besoin d'un gros jeu défensivement, en particulier de ta ligne défensive, qui est capable de déranger le carrière.
Tu as mentionné au début que tu as profité de la semaine de congé pour évaluer un peu l'équipe, faire l'état de la situation. Qu'est-ce que tu retiens des 5 premiers matchs, puis qu'est-ce que tu aimerais voir là, dans le dernier droit pour que vous reveniez, pour vous rassurer des séries?
Oui, un résumé de 30 secondes. Je suis très satisfait concernant... Écoute, on a 2 receveurs dans le top 5 en Mac puis Julian Grant. On est deuxième dans les interceptions. Je pense que Toronto en a 11. Nous on a 7. Je pense qu'on donne 18-19 points défensivement. La question que j'avais pour les entraîneurs, en particulier coach Maas, c'est la ligne de mêlée. Ça veut dire le nombre de sacs concédés, puis le nombre de fois qu'on est capable de se rendre au corps arrière. Alors, on a passé presque 4 et 7 jours là-dessus. On a regardé le personnel, on a regardé qu'est-ce qu'on leur demandait de faire, puis comment on peut s'améliorer.
Danny, in your conversations with Shawn, did you feel like he had any chip on his shoulder since he went so long without getting signed?
Well, I think anytime you're out there waiting for a phone call, there's a little bit of, you're going to have a little bit of a chip on your shoulder. You want someone to take a chance on you, give you an opportunity to come in and do what you do best. So I think when you're sitting there and you're watching all these games being played every single week, and you're watching them and you're saying to yourself, I know I can still play at a relatively high level, and I know that I can have some form of contribution. I just need an opportunity. And the opportunity has presented itself, and I hope he's going to cash in on it.
No, there wasn't a doubt. There wasn't a doubt in my mind. I'm a guy that loves this league, and so I've been watching all the games and critiquing everything on my end and just, making notes of every offensive lineman that I would potentially play against. So I was just ready, just training and, spending time with my family. Yeah.
Have you had any word about what role you might expect, how quickly you expect to be on the field with the team? Possibly this Sunday?
Well, I'm understanding the playbook already. I would say I pretty much got the playbook down already. So, just let the coaches decide whatever they want to do. I just know I'm ready for, whenever they're ready for me.
How much of the Alouettes game have you watched this season, and what do you hope to bring, to the defensive front? Because the Alouettes are last, for quarterback sacks.
I watched every game. I've watched every preseason game. I've watched every scream of every team in the league. This is a real aggressive defense. Offense is very explosive. So what I want to do is I want to bring my skill set to get to the quarterback. Not only get to the quarterback, but take the ball away. I pride myself in creating turnovers, force fumbles for us to get the ball back in the offense's hands.
Yeah, sorry to ask you again the same question, but the microphone wasn't working. How do you explain, after getting 14 sacks last year, you've been productive wherever you played? How do you explain that you're still sitting at home this late in the season?
Just control what you control, and one thing I can't control is my production and my play. So just when the opportunity presents itself, I'm always going to go out and, to the best of my ability, play as fast and play as explosive as possible. Yeah.
Did you get a sense from the BC Lions why you were cut during the campaign?
They wanted to change their ratio to go Canadian at DN, but that didn't work out for them. But they have reached out to me during the time to try to go back. But I just wanted a better fit, and this was a better fit for me here.
Were you in conversation with teams throughout this whole time? And
yes, it was about talking to about 5 teams throughout the league, and this was the best fit for me.
Yeah, you mentioned you had eyes on Montreal. You know this league pretty well, played almost everywhere, almost completed the Kevin Bloom tour. What's so special about Montreal?
Just the city. Every time I would come here as a player from an opposing team, you can see the passion in the fans here. You could just, I just love this city here. The foods are very good. Every time I come here, I always have the best dishes ever on the road. So, I'm just happy that, that I'm here playing football.
If you get a chance to sign with Hamilton, are you going to do it to complete the tour?
I just had a chance to, and I decided to come here. So I'm happy to be here. Hopefully, I'll be here for a while. That's the plan.
All right. What do you appreciate most about the art of the pass rush? Like, it's such a tough thing to do, to get after the quarterback. But what part of your game do you feel allows you to get there time and time?
Just my speed. I've came to this league when I was 23 years old. So this league has become the normal for me, right? So it's just my speed and just to be able to make plays. I just love it.
You get to work. I saw you were talking to JD a little bit, Jamal Davis. I'm just curious, like, when you see him, what type of ability do you see in him? How do you guys see yourself?
Jamal Davis is an interesting guy because I've known Jamal since he first came to this league. Me and him went to the same college. He went to Akron, the school that I went to as well as Mondo. So we've always been in communication. I always give him, he's like a little brother to me. I always give him ideas on, how to go about the game and approach the game. So I'm just happy to work with the guys here.
Before the bye, you said you were going to take this as an opportunity to look inward, to look at what you guys haven't been able to do well. Now that the bye is over, what have you noticed that you would like to see an improvement
Well, I think overall, I mean, you want to see improvement everywhere. Whether you're good at something or not quite to where you want to be, you want to improve everywhere. So the message this week was just to get better. But obviously, we've looked at everything. So run game, protections on offense, try to get better there. Defensive, try to get to the quarterback a little bit more, be a little more diverse, all those things. So ultimately, again, it was a look inward, a look to self-scout and things like that. But ultimately, there's a lot of really good things we were doing, and then there's things that we need to shore up and get better at, and that'll be the message again for this week.
How hopeful are you that the arrival of Shawn is going to help, getting more pressure on the quarterback?
Yeah, I think, he's been proven to get to the quarterback. I think over the last couple of years he's had quite a few sacks to his name, so he's tremendous at doing that. Not only that, usually when he gets to the quarterback, he creates turnovers too. So going out and getting a guy who's proven, who's done it, will ultimately help us. But it's a team game too, so it's not just always on one guy to do it. So we looked at ourselves as coaches and scheme and players and all that stuff, before we went out and got him. But we understand what he does bring to the table is tremendous, and we're looking for big things from him.
Obviously, Shawn's been around this league for a long time. He knows about the game. How fast do you believe he can pick up what your team is doing and have an impact on the defense?
Well, I think like anything, it's usually just terminology that's different in football. No one's usually reinventing the wheel, so to speak. So I think just once he gets used to the terminology we're using, he's all the things we're going to ask him to do, he's done before in his history of playing. Just how quickly he gets acclimated to the guys around him, hearing the calls, and then gas tank. It's one thing to go to training camp, it's one thing to sit out. You still got to be able to come out here for 3 days and practice and play it, be able to play at your level. So there's a little bit of everything that goes in, but ultimately he's a pro. He's been in since we signed him. He's been in the meeting rooms, working with the coaches to be ready. That's what's noticeable right away with dealing with Shawn.
What have you thought of Jake Meyers' play this season?
Jake Meyers, he did a really good job last week for sure, and I just think he's just a solid, steady quarterback. I know Dave does a great job with their quarterbacks there, getting him prepared every week. He throws the ball as well as anybody that I've seen up here. So, and he'll stand in there and do it. He also does a good job moving in the pocket and using the pocket, and he's an accurate passer. And not everything is always going to go your way, but the guy plays to the end every week, gives him a chance every week. So, watching their games, that's what I've noticed. Everything generally comes down to the end, and he definitely doesn't shy away from nothing. So I've been very impressed with him, especially since he hasn't played a lot of football up here. He looks very wise beyond